This mat is all warped out of shape. I should never use that hair dryer on it when I was making that fluffy snow stuff. Anyway, see if anybody shows up. Or, well, it don't matter. We're gonna carry on with the thing. Carry on. This is our Geordie in the log we've been working on. He's done. Put some of that wax stuff on it. It's like a antiquing wax, and it said 24 hours, and then you can polish it, and it should antique your stuff. Which I thought this wood was a little too white, because you got to remember. Okay, see the difference? This is our gnome 1.5 by 1.5 gnome. This is our 2x2 Geordie in the log. And then our original was on this 1x1. Whoop, wrong guy. But I had already carved these faces in here. I wish I wouldn't though, because then I could have brought his legs down longer. But it is what it is. It's just a prototype anyway. So we went from this to this, and now this. And we got to finish this. I got yelled at last night by Jordy. Where's the carbon fusion hat, man? Where's the carbon fusion hat? So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, that paint's just not wanting to flow on there. Hey, Tim. There. I don't know if I like that. I don't think that's going to work. Black is one of the harder things to paint over too. Here, let's just get as much of that black off from there as I can. I think this brush might have been a little too thick for what we were trying to pull off there. Originally, I painted this hat all black, and then Jordy barked at me about not having the carving fusion hat, so I'm just going to I got a lot finer brush. Maybe I'll do that. It's going to take a minute for this red to dry. Going to take a minute for that to dry. So he's done. I think he's all done. The last thing I did was yesterday. I put the thanks, Tim. Was put the antiquing wax on it, just so it would fill in these where I cut them deep grooves in. It'd give it a little more like a play on light. Because it was looking pretty washed out before I because I didn't paint any of the body. I just left that like this guy, all natural, because he's in his birthday suit. This guy's in a box, and this guy is in the log, Geordie and a log. So after that spot dries, we'll go ahead and I'll get a smaller brush and we'll try that whole. Maybe I'll just use a marker. A marker. There it is. Let's see what to do on the bottom of this guy's foot here. And trees from these. Gotta be careful with your marker. Now I got marker on them. That's there. It's a permanent marker, so it's permanent. I think it's gonna be. I don't think this is gonna work. But anyway, there's our guys. They're all done. They're all painted. This guy's not. He was just a prototype. This is 1 by 1. This is 1.5 by 1.5, and this is 2 by 2. Now I got some 3 by 3. I was thinking about making even a bigger one. Just a bigger one, and we can make that one just carve Rob because we know just carve Rob is bigger than Jordy. Oh no, you're starting shit. Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. You can't argue with the tiger when your head is in his mouth. Jordy's the tiger, by the way, in case you're wondering. Thanks, Aiden. Oh, we need to just set this guy to the side here. I can do this when you guys aren't watching. But then who will criticize it? All right. So this will probably be one of the last times you see this guy. Looks kind of like I could have made that like a skin, and it would have made we could have made like a caveman. Hey, BK, Jen. Yeah, we got them all done, baby kisses. Got our guy in the box. We got our Geordie in a log. I'm still thinking about um right back here carving a spider and sticking it on there because I know how much Geordie loves spiders. That could happen yet. You can always add on, right? The main carvings, if I had thought about it, I could have turned one of these corners here into a spider, but I didn't. So, but now for the next one, I know, right? You learn by doing. Because when you carve this, you carve the log in, you're going to have a corner here, a corner here, and a corner here. And then this is the corner on the front. So I could have, instead of having these corners way up top, I only left them there because I had started removing all this wood. But if I had thought about it with the corners, I would have drawn I could have put like a knot hole, the branch things on each um, area. So yeah, I could probably, that one's big enough. I could probably carve that into a spider. And then over here on this side, we could carve a worm in, like one of them inchworms. It kind of goes like the omega symbol. So that may happen. I still like the idea of the woodpecker. Somebody said put a woodpecker on there. I thought that was a pretty good idea. Oh yeah, you got to have the RV tattoo on your arm, right? You got to have that tat, or you're not a real fan. Let's set him off to the side. I'll bring them back later just for anybody that shows up late. Right? How can you be late to something like this? Now, is that the brush I wanted, or was I going to get a different brush? I think I was going to get a maybe I did get a different one. Where's that one you got? This guy right here. I think I got some red. There's one thing I wanted to do on this guy. It's not the most professional looking thing, but there. That was one thing I wanted to. What are we blaming Perry for? I'm not just saying he don't deserve the blame, but there. I don't like that pea at all. I'm using some leftover red from Jordy's hat. Good enough. Good enough for what it's for. Hey, Happy. Brett, how you guys doing today? Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. I don't think Brett was here for the unveiling of the Geordie and the log. That's what he ended up coming out looking like. I Mod Podge. This guy is just Mod Podge. This guy was Mod Podge, but then I put this antiquing wax on it to make it a little darker because everything was kind of washed out and white. You couldn't see like where I had carved in the ratchet straps or the fingers. It all just kind of blended together like this guy here. So that just kind of blends together. Or this guy here, not the only problem I got is some of that wax got a little heavy down in the armpit area, so it looks like he's got hairy armpits. Jordy said, I don't know why you gave me chest hair. I don't got no chest hair. He said, I'm kind of smooth. I'm like, it's like one of them hairless cats. Oh, you like the toenails? Yeah. I always enjoy putting little things like that in because then it makes you go, huh. Oh yeah, this guy, that was an expression I got from Sticks and Stones, Kevin. That might be a little Kevin gnome there. That's what we're gonna call him. This is the Kevin gnome. Sticks and Stones gnome here. I'm gonna have to put a little brown in his beard though. This is gonna be our Kevin at Sticks and Stones gnome. That's our Kevin gnome right there. And then there's our Geordie in a log. All right, we got two famous caricatures right here. This actually looks like Kevin. The more I look at it, the more it looks like Kevin. Yeah. If I had a cowboy hat on, you'd be like, man, that's Kevin from Sticks and Stones. Yep. Ah, yes. See, if we would have done Kevin like this, then we could just had a sword coming up, carving a wood spirit. Okay, so that's them. That was the main reason we popped on, just to say hi to everybody and show you how our Geordie and a log came out. Thanks, Brett. It's a long ways from where I started 7 years ago. I can tell you that. Between Geordie and Doug Linker. I don't know what's up with Doug Linker. He hasn't been doing anything lately. I haven't seen him put out any new videos or anything. And Gene Messer. And then lately it's been Alec Lacrosse. He is a huge talent, that guy. Young too. He's got a lot of years to go. And he's already that good. I can only imagine how, if he keeps at it, how good he's going to be in another 10 years. Thanks, Trees. Yeah, Alec is amazing. He sure is. Doug Linker, he was getting really good too from where he had started out with his little gnomes, and he got more into the wood spirit faces and better faces on his gnomes. That's where all this stuff came from. Uh, yeah, Doug Linker was the man with the littles, and Gene Messer. You get a lot of the good basics from Gene. And this can all translate all the way from a knife to a Dremel to a chainsaw. Once you learn the movements, it's better to learn how to carve something like this on a block of wood this size than to have a great big honking tree and you have no idea what the movements are going to be. This is all practice. This stuff. It's all practice for something big. Don't know what that big thing's going to be. When he gets here, I'll be ready for it. Right? Yeah, I started carving with a Swiss Army knife. And no, those guys have got me beat by 100,000 miles. Hey, Perry. Yeah, yeah, I got pine. Cut that. It's not a huge tree. That pine tree I cut down. I left about a 5 foot stump because there again, going to be something put on it. Um, yeah. Well, maybe that's what all the practicing is for, to carve a gnome in that guy. I'm seeing a gnome every time I look at it. I'm like, that could be a cool gnome, or uh, turn it into a gnome house, a 5 foot gnome house, and put little balconies, and on each balcony set one of these guys, right? That'd be a cool idea too. Cut the top like a mushroom and then make it that zigzaggy, and then put little windows in with little balconies. And then I have a place to put all these guys. They can all live outside and stop talking to me in the shop. Yeah, I think it would be fun too. Um, because then once you could change guys out or you can move them around. You could have like a ladder going up it and have one guy hanging on a ladder, carving with his arms out. So he's like hanging off the ladder. Or even like my splat elves, the one that didn't make it, he splat him on the log. We could carve. I haven't done it yet, but I want to carve a sleeping gnome. I seen somebody. I don't remember the channel, but they had carved little 1 by 1 gnomes that were laying down. So you only had to carve like this side of them, and then tuck the head in. And this side, you could put the hand up here or something. And they were all laying down sleeping. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. On top, carve the top like a mushroom, and then make it so it's not a straight pole. Put some zigzags back and forth in it, or maybe a bunch of mushrooms on top, because it's probably about 12 inches round. Carve a bunch of bigger mushrooms in it. I think just the big mushroom to make it look more like a gnome condo. Yeah, you know, if you only knew how many of these guys are in boxes yelling. Hi, Perry. Yeah, but okay. On to today's adventure. What were we doing? Oh, we're gonna get a thinner paintbrush. Oh, way too much pain medication. Way too much. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, well, that one probably be good. All right, we got this one here. So let's get some black paint on here. I should paint something other than this to see how wide it's going to be. All right, let's try this here. See what, without the Mod Podge, see how quick that paint sunk in there? With the Mod Podge on this, I could have just wiped that right off. Want to give this guy a Geordie tattoo? And I gotta use a very, no, I still think that's too thick. Geordie said I sign his signature better than he does. So don't let me hear your checking count. Yeah. International checking. Oh boy. We need a really, 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 really thin brush. Did I get one? I grabbed a handful of brushes. Nope, didn't get one. Somehow it escaped me. Come on. All right. Drop all that crap back in there. Okay, so now we got this brush. I don't think it gets much thinner than that, Rob. All right, let's try it again. I think that will work. That will work. Man, I'll tell you what, them two little hairs don't hold much paint. There you go. Oh, kind of shiny, but I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there. Now it's done. Now he is done. We can put all of the paint stuff away now. Set him over there you guys can't even see him. That's because he's on this wobbly mat. Well, that's no help. All right. And he's done. We got a piece of cottonwood bark. Looks like it's got a lot of checking in here. Thanks, Happy. And a crack right there. But we can use that crack to our advantage. We'll have that like his hair is going this way and that way. You know? So I already took the Arbortech to it. Got our point pretty much center here. So if we draw a center line in, be right here. And that gives us about that same. I like the way this bark cuts back, so I'm going to try to stay away from that to use it as beard. So we keep our face right in that area, something like that. Go over to this side of the center line. So that's how our face is going to be laid out. And then we got our forehead. I'm not really that concerned about that crack. But then it drops off really steep on this side, so it'll be all right. Something like that there. Bring this up a little bit more. And then our beard will roll off the sides. Our mustache will roll into here. This nose is probably going to be right in this area right here. Let's go ahead and get that forehead cut in there. And if you guys are up for it. Or if you've had enough already, we'll just shut her down. We're gonna have to turn on the vacuum, the dust collector. All right, so I guess we'll start out with this Apex Forge deal here with the Cuts All Extreme on it. We'll get this vacuum fired up, and we'll get that forehead cut in there, and then we'll figure out the nose, what we're gonna do with the nose and all that stuff. All right. So I got the forehead cut back in there, and I just kind of did a rough line down each side of the face. And this is all going to be hair, so you don't have to worry about your offset on your hair because your hair is going to be all over anywhere. Hey, John. So the crack is over here, but I'm not going to sweat it, even though I keep talking about it. So I figure our nose is going to be right about here. So I need to move this over a little bit, bring this down a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to come off about a quarter of an inch and bring it down. Same over here. Well, you got want to make sure your nose line is about the same length on both sides of your center line. Which, hey, surprise, mine is. And then I'm going to stay about a quarter of an inch or more away from where the top of the is actually going to come together because we're going to end up working that in. There goes the captive pin. So I'm going to go ahead and move this side over a little bit. And we'll get this nose cut in. All right, break time. So that's where he is at. That's where he's at right now. Now, come on. You knew the knife was going to come out sooner or later. I just want to put a sharp line in here just from so I know. Same way over on this side. Just want to try keeping the sides of my face the same size. Yeah, if it's just carved Rob, there's gonna be a knife involved somewhere in the midst of it all. It's bark's proven to be like a little mushy. You normally get a nice clean break, but you can see how it's all kind of like falling apart. It's kind of little mushy, little mushy wood. That must mean that it's been down for a while, maybe. Oh yeah, this is. Oh well, it is what it is, right? The outside seems to be fairly stiff, but yeah, hear that? But once you get down into the meat of the potatoes here, it's you can see it's like breaking apart. If I get put it back in the camera, that is. There's the side profile so far. The nose will end up coming out a little bit more, and it'll appear um sticking out more when I take all this down here. I'll tell you what, for a bark, I was I always love the patterns that are in it. You can see how it grew in layers. You can actually feel them catch your fingernail. This is when you chop the nose off your wood spirit. Should lay it down on the bench so we got more control over the blade, so it's not jamming up into the nostrils. Clean that up, man. That cuts off bird tears some shit up, don't it? Awesome. Looks like we need to come over a little bit that way. Yeah, that looks all right. The nose is gonna pop off. Oh, you're right. Yep, sure did. Right there. Boop. Popped right off. Look at that. Now we got no nose. Oh my. Jordy put the whammy on us, folks. He gave us the whammy. Hello from Carve Fusion. I'm Jordy Johnson, and I'm stuck in a log because I shit my pants. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Ugh. Put the friggin' curse rate on us, he did. Now we gotta break out the glue. I really didn't want to break out the glue. We're gonna have to work around the nose for a minute. Where's that acid brush at? There it is. That's what we're looking at. I didn't want it to come off at all. But this is some pretty rough looking bark anyway. It's got a lot of like checking here. So that's why I relocated from here down all beard because of the heavy checking. You can see all the layers. It's like you said, it's inevitable when you carve bark that you're gonna hit. And I know he's seen that little gray line running through there. Didn't you, Jordy? You seen that little gray line running through there, and I'm like, that ain't gonna pop off. All I did was put a little upward pressure. Boop, there she went. He knows. Old Jordy, he's been dealing with bark longer than I have. The bark master. We're just gonna slap a little glue in there and pretend it never happened. Never happened, Jordy. Never happened. We'll just have to stay away from that nose for a little bit till this glue has a. Yeah. Gorilla glue. Love me some Gorilla glue. Oh, holy mackerels. That guy carving a huge log or quarter log. Jordy. I think that would make an awesome if what you should have done was cut that side. Well, not what you should have done. What I would have done was cut a big C where you cut that big chunk out of the side. I would have cut that into a C and then made the tall part a mushroom and the bottom part where you're going to put a planter into its seat. Oh yeah, you would have had a seat with like a mushroom umbrella over it. Oh, the year of if you ask me. Well, you did ask me, but I was just thinking about it. I was watching your video and I'm like, wow, that's a big piece of wood, but it's not that thick. And then you got all the crap on the back, all those rotten inclusions and stuff across that backside. All right, that should hold good enough until we get to it. Till we get to it. We decided that this is the Kevin Sticks and Stones gnome. That's who this is. It's Kevin over at Sticks and Stones. Hey, Dad. It looks like him, don't it? Looks like Kevin. If he had a big beard like that and a cowboy hat. That's our Kevin gnome, and then we got our Geordie stuck in a log gnome. He's done. Move this over. I'm kind of putting things off to glue sets up a little bit more. I think I'm going to turn this knot here into a spider, though. Yeah. I put that antiquing wax on it to darken it up a little bit. You still wound it up. You still wound up with chest hairs, Jordy. Yeah, there's your damn hat. Yeah, it's got the J on it. All right. Everybody caught up now? All right. Where were we at? I think we were getting ready to. We got to take all this down. So let's turn the sucker back on and peel that down. I never did walk over there and get my cup of coffee. Everybody's like, "What in the hell is he talking about?" The coffee, people. The coffee. Remember the coffee? We were going to take a break and get a cup of coffee, and we never did. We took a little break, and then we never did get the coffee though. All right, so now we got the micromotor with the 1/8 inch detail burrs, gold. So we can go ahead and start getting these eyes ready. See, we got rid of most of that crack. Remember the crack that went from here to there? Just got a little bit, just you can't barely feel it right there. And then we're good up in here now. So don't be afraid of crack. Coffee. Oh. All right. Got the cup coffee. Where's my brush at? Get started with a clean start here. All right. So there's a side view. There's the other side view. The only thing I'm seeing here, I don't know, they look about, if we look at it from the bottom up, the face height going down looks about right. This way looks a little maybe too much in here, but we want to come in more to bring out the nose more. So we'll go ahead and put the mustache on. If we don't like it, we can always carve it. I thought this piece was going to be a lot thicker than it is, but I mean, we're a good 3 inches off the nose there, or at least 2.5. So, what kind of mustache do we want to give this guy? Are we going to make this guy happy or sad? Going to make him happy or mean? Anybody got any ideas? Are we going to give him a normal mouth, or are we going to give him a droopy mouth? Mean? Make him mean. So we're going to have to give him a frown. Make him happy. Happy normal. So we're just going to give him a blank expression then, because I don't think we're going to fit all that in there. Let's see. I might have to bring that nose down a little bit more. We think about yelling or laughing. And then that will give us we'll make sure we keep his eyes up swept like that. And then that will all be beard hair. We can puff that out a little bit more. Yeah, now it's more like that side. Give him some teeth. So all this has got to go. All right, then. The decision has been made. Let's get her. Turn on the noise maker and yep. We got, I think we're gonna change over from this. We're gonna pop that out of there. Then we're gonna go to the already got that loaded in the machine. I don't see it. And we can go to this medium grit saber tooth. Yellow is medium. Green is coarse. Of course it is. Of course, of course. So we'll fire up the dust collector and yeah, he's yelling about something. He's always yelling. Let's go ahead and get this cut out. See where we're at. Oh, my water broke. I guess that's why you don't leave your paint stuff on your workbench. I think we're going to need another paper towel. Get that out of here. Turn this off. I made a mess. I messed myself. I got wet. Gnomes that haven't seen water since 2023. All right, that's probably enough. Back at it. Let's get to it. Woo! There goes the piece. There goes the piece. We're we're flinging stuff now. Never a party until something gets broke. Now we have to give them a lip. There goes the part. Might have to push them teeth back further. Yeah, they gotta go back more. Oh, that little dig took us down a rabbit hole. What's that look like? Yeah, okay. Them teeth are looking good. Get this lip back further. Notice how I'm staying away from that nose until I'm pretty sure that glue's set. I think I'm demonstrating some pretty good self-control on that. Usually I get all the stuff up there done first. Unusual. Man, it sure is bouncy with this spur in the micromotor. Maybe it's because I'm not holding it as tight or I'm pushing too hard. That might be. Crank her all the way up to 45,000. We're at about 30. Sometimes it helps cranking it up. Sometimes it don't. That and I can remove more wood with a lighter touch with it really honking going there. Come on, hose, you're in the way now. All right, break time. Everyone is one drink down. Grab your cup. All right. Oh, uh-oh. They're singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall. That means the show is going downhill in a hurry. Special announcement. Hey, how was your surgery? You're on here, so you must have made it through. All right. You had your drum roll. What's the announcement? Now you got me involved. I'm interested. But we need a burr that we can get down in there flat and get that all flattened out in there. It's pretty rough. I use the put the pattern on a piece of wood. I always use this. If you got bigger pieces, they make these bigger and they make them smaller. I'd get the big, the jumbo one. It's about inch and a quarter around. But yeah, this is what I since my son was in high school when they came out with this. Well, it's when I found out about it. I don't know when they came out about with it, but he bought one home, and I'm like, man, I wonder how good that would hold the pattern on a piece of wood. And it worked. It worked phenomenal. And to get it off, a little bit of that isopropyl alcohol. You put a rag on it, squirt that on there, and wait about 10, 15 minutes, and you wouldn't even ever know it's there. There's no leftover stuff. There's no leftover residue on the wood. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with Elmer's school glue sticks, but I will support them. I gotta get me one of the big ones because I've got a probably a 8 or 9 inch round of. Yeah, it works good for sewing too. You can glue your if you're a terrible sewer like this guy, uh, you could glue down the seam and then go back and sew it, so you don't got to try holding it and doing all that. Use it for the 3D printer. Yeah. Oh yeah, to hold your plate in or whatever it is. I don't know much about 3D printers. I know I want one, but I don't know much about them. Hell, I just recently got a laser deal given to me. One of them laser printers. Not like an ink one, but it's got a laser in it. You can burn wood and stuff with it. And that, other than that, you're stuck with the light burn program. It's one of them cheap Timu ones. You're stuck using their light burn program. You got to pay, I think it was $35 a year for it. But it's kind of like a CAD program. It's a good program. And it's fairly easy to use. It's a lot easier to use than the Mach 3 for my plasma table. But so we needed something, a flat something to get in there to do that mouth with. if I remember correctly. I think this barrel bit cuts all silver, so it's the coarse. I think we can get in there flat with that and clean that up. And then we can use something else to get up there and back cut them teeth once we get them finalized. And we got to cut our get our nose the rest of the way cut in. We're kind of locked in with that length of nose now. Hey, we might be able to use this guy right here too. Come in, make a little sideways plunge cut. Cut that snot hole in there. So we can take this guy out. Don't need you right now. If I do, I know where you are. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Right. Yep. Right. Okay. So we got that loaded in there. I like saber tooth. It's just they got different shapes, right? I mean, this is your cuts all flame burr, right? And then this is close to the equivalent of that. If you look at the spikes, now they've got a more aggressive one than this. It's this is the coarse, the yellow is the fine, and then the white is called the whisper. That's the extra fine. But for me, this longer profile, and it's a lot thinner at the top, works well for getting into, well, you guys see, getting into tight space. The to get into tighter spaces, we may be using this on our nose. We'll probably use the yellow one. All right, let's get this mouth flattened out. Almost sucked my tool up. All right. We'll get them all cleaned up here, and then we'll take a look at them. All righty then. Let's see what we got going here. We got the nostrils cut in. We got the cheekbones cut in. We got them yelling. We have to get up there and clean them teeth up a little bit more. We might do that with a knife. I think we've got. I think we've got the nose out far enough. And then we've got our different planes. 1, 2, 3. So all we gotta do is cut our snot holes in there. I think I took that back a little too far. The mustache. It should have came. I think it should have came out more. But this is like only the second or third time I've ever cut in. The You guys that have been around a while know I usually do the puffy cheeks, not the sunk in ones. So this is like kind of like the first time of doing that. I was gonna say my nose is crooked, but it isn't. It's just cut down a little bit more in there than it is there. A wood spirit that got into a bark fight. That little round cylinder burr worked pretty good, I think. I think that worked pretty good for getting all this stuff done. That's one of them burrs you got and you don't never really use to its full potential, I think. Like I never look for that a cylinder burr until I'm like needing it for something. Like flattening that mouth out, and then I'm like, well, I got it in my hand, so let's see what it'll do here and there and everywhere. A little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, it's like the deeper you get into the bark, the crumblier. Crumblier? Is that a word? The crumbliest. It gets crumblier. I really need to get a get some kind of a or make one. I don't know, to hold the bark. These bigger pieces, it gets hard to keep them in your hand. Oh, there's a piece just ripped off. It's all right. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Just gonna hang on the wall outside anyway. Oh, can't get that knife in there. We need a longer one. What did I do with my 2 inch? There it is. Totally out of its spot. That's why I couldn't find it. No, ain't gonna let me do it. We might have to get some of our gouges out here to pull this off here. I think that is hmm. Take a little bit. There we go. We need to do the same thing this side over here. Come just above that cheekbone. Clean that out a little bit. I don't know about making it better or worse. For better or for worse, we're doing it. We're doing it anyway. Yeah, I think so. It's a wood spirit. We can dig in there with this with the knife or the Dremel or the microcarver. We couldn't do that. And this stuff it just cuts so nice under a knife. I'll tell you, I'm like of course I'm out of focus. So we can get in there and make our little chip cuts, give us some shadow up under there. Give us a little more shadow under those cheeks. It looks so different between the camera and real life. So different. I can't believe how much different it looks. Unbelievable. Out of camera, of course. Why not? Nobody's yelling at me, so. There. Think that's got it cut in there good enough. Got a piece lifting right there. Getting very weird. Very weird indeed. The deeper I get into this, the weirder it's getting. It's like it's getting more flaky. Getting weird. I'm gonna get that chunk out of there. We can always bring that nose more narrow if we want it. I just cut this in deeper here to bring the mustache out a little bit more. I got that there. And we can always round these down more if we want them sharper. Okay. Teeth. Got the shakes. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Push them teeth back a little bit further. I'm cutting them on the angle back into the face to give us the impression that they're rounding back around inside the mouth, right? So I'm just cutting it back, taking those little triangle cuts out of there just to get them to round a bit. And then we can come in and push that back a little bit more. Use this gouge. Ooh. Be careful. Be careful. I don't think this gouge has got the aptitude for this kind of work. Might be a little bit dull. This is one of them tools I don't use that much. Oh, hold it. I got that set of chisels out here. Out of work. Use this skew to clean this up. Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot better. Much better. Get rid of that. Where that round over burr, that barrel burr left a round corner in there. Get that out of there. Then we can just cut up from here. I always do this just because it makes gives a shadow under the teeth if you cut up and in. I don't know if you guys seen that or not. Actually, for that I should be using something like that, something with a roundness to it already. This used to be my nostril gouge. So I'd put it up there like that. And we'll do the same thing right about here. Something like that there. Kind of make them, try to make them look fairly much the same. Just got to be careful at the break of this nose here because I don't want to chop it off, break it off. That one does go in a little bit higher up. There. Good enough. Good enough, I say. We got all the bats out of there. The booger bats. Get them all out of there. I think we got them. Got them all. Amy Joe. Amy Joe the Annihilator. Get all that stuff out of his mouth. Now we got to push the bottom teeth back. Yeah, it's got the perfect shape for it. For doing the snot holes. I got to push them bottom teeth back. So we might as well go ahead and set our path that we want to commit to. That. Just going to rock that right in there. This flex cut skew. And then I'll just come in and push them teeth back. Then we can bring that bottom lip back. I was going to try doing this with the micromotor, but the way this wood is going here, or this piece of bark is going with the hard and soft and mushy, I'm thinking I'm better off with the I get better depth control and stuff with the skew. So okay, they're about the same distance back, so we can get away with that. Keep it in the camera. Now I'm just going to make a dip behind the teeth, and then if you want to, you can roll a tongue in there, right? Get this piece out of here. I'll show you what I'm referring to. Come on out there. See if you can control your depth behind the teeth. You can you see how the teeth stop right there? You can make that a tongue. This can go deeper yet. The inside of the mouth. You actually want to go as deep as you can with that, so you don't, it doesn't shadow. It gives you better chance of shadows, is what I'm trying to say. All right. So let's go ahead and cut that in deeper and almost sucked up our micromotor. You know what I didn't give this guy? I didn't give him those smile lines yet. I think we'll cure that situation. If I can find a V tool right there. Here. Got to have your smile lines. There. Now you got some smile lines. I think I want to peel them down a little further though. Same way with this one. Take it right down to the beard. There, that looks a little better. There we go. I don't know if that did us any good. Oh, Kevin over there at Sticks and Stone says more lines is more better to give them more character. Look at that. Remember that crack? That piece popped off, and I didn't even notice it. It's okay. We'll just pop that down. It looks like that was up a little higher than this one anyway. So that's okay. We can deal with that. I'm just going to dig this back a little bit. There you go. One screaming wood spirit. Think we're going to call it right there, guys. We're getting deep into it. And I hate to leave in the middle, but I got things that are yelling at me to go get in the recliner for a while. All right. All right. Carve something awesome. Carve every day if you can. Stay safe. Stay awesome. And we will catch you guys on the next one. All right. All right. All right, Jordy Johnson. All right. All right, Aiden Fletcher. All right. All right, Royce Timberard. All right. All right, Happy. All right. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.